the bottom of Peches on Beis, the last words. Yesterday, just as a quick review, Rava said because Avraham Avinu said Anoichi Ofar ve'efer, so Klal Yisrael received two mitzvahs that they actually benefit from. The mitzvah of the efer of Para Aduma you benefit from, you become tahar, because without it you'd be tamei for the rest of your life. And the mitzvah of the offer, the dirt of the Beis Hamikdash in the Soita water, she benefits, her husband benefits, the Shalom Bayis, no divorce necessary. And the Gemara continues, V'amarava, B'schar Shoma Avraham Avinu im mechut v'atzroich nal. Avraham Avinu told the king of Zdaim, I don't want to enjoy any of the loot from the war, you can have it all back. So he said, mechut v'atzroich nal, not from a string to the shoelace, I don't want anything. Why? Because he was worried of Gezel. Even though halachically it was his, as the Gemara is going to explain, he didn't want any shemetz of Gezel. So zachu banov l'shtei mitzvahs l'chut shel tcheles u'ritzua shel tefillin. The chut v'atzroich nal. So one is a chut and one is a ritzua. So there was zoicha to tcheles and there was zoicha to tefillin, to the ritzua tefillin. Bishlam ritzua shel tefillin. So what benefit? If we're going with the same concept that we had before, that it's a benefit for Klal Yisrael. It's not just a mitzvah, but it's a benefit. It's a mitzvah that benefits Klal Yisrael. So what benefit is there in tefillin?
Did Avraham say what he said, so that he shouldn't say that the king made him make it?
Yeah. He said that the king shouldn't say I made, but it's because we'll see in a second it's gezel.
Okay.
So Bishlam Ritzusha Tefillin Ksiv Ro Kol Ami Haaretz Kishim Hashem Nikra Alecha. We have this in Menachos. Remember that when it comes to tefillin, the tefillin is shin, dalid, and a yud. So on the tefillin shorosh you have the shin and the dalid of the ritzua. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the ritzua, the dalid, and through the shakai, goyim are scared of us. It says V'ro Kol Ami Haaretz Kishim Hashem Nikra Alecha. I think the main word here is missing. Mecca. They have fear. So I gave you tefillin because of Avraham Avinu. The goyim are going to have fear from you. So with the social media, like you were saying before, and all the anti-Semitism, we have something that protects us called tefillin. And that's because Avraham Avinu said, "Atzroich nal."
Rashi says what you said.
What?
Rashi says what you said.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying Rashi.
Oh, you're saying.
Social media below.
You're saying V'yorim Mecca. Rashi sticks in the actual words.
Yeah, that's what
So,
he's pointing out.
Yeah.
That's not.
Right.
That is them.
V'tanya Rebbe Eliezer Agad Eloimer Eilu Tefillin Sheberoish. Elo, we have to understand Chut Shel Tcheles Mai. What anah do we have from Tcheles? V'tanya Rebbe Eliezer Man Ishtano Tcheles Mikol HaTzivonim. Why Dafke Tcheles? Why do we paint out tzitzis blue? Mipnei Shetcheles Doim Le'yom. This is a couple of lines that really need explanation. I don't really have a clear pshat why, twice removed. Mipnei Shetcheles Doim Le'yam. V'yam Doim Le'Rekiya. V'Rekiya Doim Le. Just get a color that's similar to the sky. No, you have to go to the yam. Maybe because the yam reminds us of Kriyas Yamsuf. V'yam Doim Le'Rekiya. V'Rekiya Doim Le'Ben Sapir. It's similar to the sapphire. V'Ben Sapir Doim Le'Kisa HaKavod. And the Kisei HaKavod is also like a sapphire. How do I know the Chsiv V'yiru Eis Elohei Yisrael V'sachas Raglov K'matzili V'sasapir U'ketzim Hashem V'toyar. So it says that underneath HaKadosh Baruch Hu's feet Kaviyachol there's a sapphire. Uchsiv K'marei V'sapir D'mus Kisei. So when we learned this sugya in Menachos not so long ago, so Rashi over there says, you through the tzitzis you look at your tchelas. Here's my tchelas. Since that sugya, you look at the tchelas, and this reminds you of the ocean. The ocean reminds you of the Rekiya. The Rekiya reminds you of the Kitzur, and you are going to benefit from the tchelas. Over here, Rashi is going in the sugya that how do we benefit from tchelas? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to look at his Kisei HaKavod and he's going to remember Klal Yisrael that wears the tchelas. It's the reverse pshat than what Rashi says in Menachos. But the point is that we gain from tchelas, we gain from tefillin, and that's because Avraham Avinu said, "Imchut v'atzroich nal." What were you saying?
No, I was just saying it's the same Gemara.
Yeah,
But it looks like
it's the same lashon.
Sapphire was different. We definitely had that over there. Where it says Ever and Sapphire,
Yeah.
is that the same quote as the Menachos?
No, I don't think so. I don't remember the Sapphire over there.
Right.
Okay. Says the Gemara, "Merabbe kosher gozel hanechal." So now we're going back to what Avraham Avinu said. I don't want to benefit even from a string from you. Take it all back.
What's your Rashi and Sota? Why it does a 4-step process?
Yeah.
On the chat.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's not like there's a lot of different things going on here. They're not exactly. Each one reminds something else. The kids are okay. Kosher gezel hanechal shafilu tzadikim gemurim einon yicholim lahachziroi. When it comes to gezel, you do tshuva ve'ishes exela. If you cannot return the gezel because you ate it, now you have a big problem. If it's gone, you consumed it, so you have to buy it. You have to. It's an issue. So what is he proving? Shenemar belodai rak asher ochlo hanaorim. What do you see from this pasuk?
Give back everything.
But he says
he can't give back.
Okay, but it says I'm not giving you back what the kids ate, what the youngsters ate. So what do you see from here?
Now you can't give back.
Can't give back everything.
So how do you see?
If
So
you eat something, you can't give it back. That's
so he's saying I'm a ganav. I can't give it back.
have rights to it.
So the
would be
pshat-
Gaza.
Well, the pshat is that he's saying that I have full rights to it. Loot of a war is mine 100%, and I'll prove it to you because what the youngsters ate, I'm not going to return to you. Because if it's gezel, then I would have to return it to you, but it's not because it's mine. Afal pikein im chud v'atzroich nal, I'm not going to take from you because of the reach gezel. Something like that.
That's a different point.
Yeah.
She's mad. That's why she's mad.
No, that's the beginning of the sugi. But what does he bring a point of the from this pasuk?
If you eat something, it's impossible to do the true on it. That's what she's saying.
Okay,
That's a different point.
but it's from the same parsha. It's okay. Or Rabbi Yochanan Shimon Rabbi Elazar. No, I don't need a pasuk that if I eat something, I have
No, you
to
can pay for it. No, not true. Pay.
But
Exact-
no,
exact
but
same
if
thing.
Avram Avinu actually stole, then he would have to pay.
Says-
But he says, I'm not paying you.
points over
He's
here.
saying, I'm not paying you. Why? Because it's not gezel. So then what did you prove? I think the proof is the first point, that even though it's not gezel, I'm so careful I don't even want your string. Because tzadikim gemurim, they can't, shafir tzadikim gemurim, yicholim lachzir. I don't know, maybe not.
Rashi's-
Omer Rabbi Yochanan, what does he say over there? What?
Midas Chasidus, was Midas Chasidus.
Right, that he,
So
exactly.
He took upon himself Midas Chasidus only on the money that he didn't spend.
Exactly.
But in
The money that he spent, you can't.
So, even with Midas Chasidus, it was hard for him to.
You're saying very good. Yeah, I like what you're saying. You're saying that fakert, you're right, it says, but the midas chasidus he couldn't give back. Why? Because it's gone. If all that food was there, he would return that food.
Right.
But now he couldn't return that food, even though it's his. I can't do the midas chasidus. The midas chasidus is like gezel. That's what you're saying.
How
Okay.
does that prove, though, that a gunner is mechayiv to give back? That he'll be pursued to the grave for not having given back the stuff is consumed.
Well, that a ganav you presume, Beishus exile. If he doesn't give it back, then
Well, I
you.
mean, from here, there's no proof. The Gemara brings this as a proof.
No, because Avraham Avinu wanted to return everything, even the shoelace. But he couldn't return what the youngsters ate. It was so hard for him. The Gemara wants to prove that even tzaddikim, it's hard for them to give back what's already consumed. Had they not consumed it, he would have even given back that part that they consumed. That's all we want to prove, that it's hard for tzaddikim to give back something you consume. Omer Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. K'mokim she'atam moitzi dvar shel Rabbi Elazar b'noi shel Rabbi Yosi Haglili ba'agodo asei oznecha kafar keses. There's something called a millhopper. Says the art scroll, millhopper. Basically, it's like a cone. So you throw in all the grain in there, and it goes. So basically, open up your ears very wide, open up your head, take it all in, and narrow it down. The kids are listen carefully to what he has to say. A funnel. Yeah, thank you. A funnel. It's a better word.
Not a mill hopper.
It's a millhopper, but it's a funnel millhopper. Thank you. It's not because you are greater, you are more than, you have more numbers than everybody else, or you're greater. Because you have anova, that's why I chose Klal Yisrael. Avram Avinu said, I am nothing but dirt and ashes. And the Gemara soon is going to say that where Moshe and Aaron said, we are nothing, nothing is less than dirt and ashes. The David Omar, this is a shtickle gaiva. I'm a worm. Worm is more than ashes. The Gemara doesn't say that, I just stuck that in. I gave Nimrod everything. Omar Hava Nivla. So what does he do? He does a Dar Aflaga. Lepari Omar Mi Hashem. Lesancherev Omar Mi B'chol Elher Arotzes. Levuchanetzer Omar Ela Bomas Yov. Lechir Melech Tzor Omar Moshe Elohim Yishafti B'lei Yamim. Rashi says over here Moshe Elohim Yishafti Shebonu Lo Shiva Rakim Shel Nechoshes V'Ola V'Yoshav Aleim. Chiram built 7 floors made out of copper. He thought he was in heaven. He was sitting on top. Big gaiva. Omar Rava v'teimer Rabbi Yochanan. Godel shenemer b'Moshe v'Aaron Yosef ma shenemer b'Avram. You have to be medayik in the words. Dilu b'Avram ksiv anochi ofa v'efer. Dilu b'Moshe v'Aaron ksiv v'nachnu mo. Omar Rava v'teimer Rabbi Yochanan. Ein oilem eskayim el b'shul Moshe v'Aaron. The whole world is in existence because of Moshe v'Aaron. Ksiv hacha v'nachnu mo. What are we? We're nothing. Uksiv hasam toila eretz al blima. The word blima means beli ma. The reason the world is hanging on without anything. What are we? We're nothing. In other words, the world is hanging because of Moshe and Aaron. So Rabbi Allah learns the word belima as a lashon livlam, to stop. If a person is in a fight and he holds himself back, he holds up the world, not Moshe and Aaron. Shenemar toila eretz al blima. A person, the world is held up by a person that considers himself nothing. Shenemar umitachas. Mitachas is lashon as he's a nothing. The person that they step on him, he's underneath everybody's feet. Zeroi soilam. He's the arms of the world. He holds up the world. Omer Rav Yitzchak Ma'idach Siv Ha'umnam Elam Tzedek Tedaberun Meisharim Tishbetu B'nei Adam. So the Gemara chops up the puzzle into 3 parts. Ha'umnam Elam is Ma Umnasi Shel Adam B'Elam Hazeh. What's a person's job in this world? Mamish big musar here. Yosem Atzmi Kilam. A person should be quiet. Yachalav L'Divrei Torah. Maybe you should be a big honor when it comes to Torah. Talmud Loimar Tzedek Tedaber. No, when it comes to Torah, you speak it out loud. Yochol Yogis Daitoi. So maybe now that you're such a knacker in learning, you should be a Balgaiva, Talmud Loimar, and wear a short jacket, v'chulu, and a down hat. Talmud Loimar, Meisharim Tishbetu B'nei Adam. Meisharim, says Rashi, on a flat surface, that's a place where people step on, that's how you should be. So, 3 things. You are quiet when it comes to Stam. When it comes to Torah, you are loud. But don't be a Balgaiva in Torah. You should make yourself as a place where people step on like dirt. Amazing halacha that you could use. Ir Anidachas is a city of Avodah Zarah that you have to burn. And kol ha'omer the saref kisarav dami. Anything that's about to be burned is burnt. And as we know from all over Shas, anything from Ir Anidachas doesn't have a shear because it's as if it's burnt. So if you take, so it doesn't have a shear. So let's say you want to take a lulav, as we're going to see in a second. The lulav is a big giant lulav. Halachically, it's a nothing lulav. It doesn't have 4 tfachim. Why? Because you have to burn it. Says Reb Zera, yet I could take the afar with the ayin. Says Rashi, it's not afar with the ayin. It's not dirt. It's afer. The Reb Zera says you can take the ashes of dir anidachas and sprinkle it over the blood, and you're yoytze kisui, and you don't say ketusi mechta shira. Omer Reb Zera, frag the Gemara v'amai yisur. No. How could I do it? At the end of the day, you're not allowed to have any benefit from ir anidachas. Omer Ziri le'nitzurcha elo la'afar ofra. We're talking about the dirt, not the ashes. It could also mean a lower layer of dirt, which is thicker, you have to get to, not the top. because maybe the top part you would also have to burn the chsiv. V'eskol shlola tikboitz el toch rechova v'sarafta. Mi she'ena mechusar el kvitza usreifa. The only thing you're not allowed to benefit is something that you have to gather and burn. But over here you have to take it out of the ground. You have to take a piece of dirt. So now you have 3 steps: lisha, kvitza, usreifa, and memela. You're allowed to use it for kisei adam. Rava Amar mitzvah lav lenis nitnus. Comes Rava and says, "Wait a minute, it's not a problem. I can use ashes. I can use whatever I want because it's a mitzvah, and I'm not allowed to have enough from it. It's not something that I give out. Now, if I steal your mitzvah, I get 10 dinarim. Then I get big hanah. But the actual mitzvah itself, you don't make business with it. So I could go to a place that I'm not allowed to have enough from and use the ashes from the Yeranidach. So Ravina v'komer lo l'shmaita. Eisvei Rav Rechumi l'Ravina. Shoiver shel avodah zara lo yitkaboy. It says you shouldn't blow a shofar of avodah zara. You're not allowed to. My lav im taka lo. It seems like that you're not yotza. Loi im taka yotza. So we have halacha. The first the Gemara says that if you do blow a shofar of avodah zara, you are yotza. Lulav shel avodah zara lo yitol. The same thing applies to lulav. My lav im nata lo yotza. Loi im nata yotza. Now the Gemara says v'tanya, but that's not true. Taka lo yotza, nata lo yotza. If you blow a shofar of avodah zara, or you take a lulav of avodah zara, you're not yotza at all. What happened to you, Rava? The mitzvahs lav lehenis nidu. I can't have enough from it. Omer Ravashi yochi hashto hasam shiura b'ina. When it comes to a lulav, I need 4 tefachim. When it comes to a shofar, I have to be able to hold it in my hand and see it on both sides of my hand, coming out from both sides. So there's a physical shear. So Ketusei Mechla Shira removes the shear. You're right. Mitzvah is lav le'anos nidnu, but I don't have a shear. The Torah says you have to have a lulav that's 4 tvachim. I don't have 4 tvachim. I have 0 tvachim. I have a lulav that's no tvachim. And avodah zara makes the shear crumble. It's parts. It's not a real shear. It's made out of many little pieces. So you have to explain here. The Achrayim explain. Everybody else explains. When it comes to kisui, you don't need a shear. You need it to physically cover, and that you have. It physically covered. The finer the particles, the better. So halachically, if the fine particles is great. Nowhere in the Torah does it say you need 3 tefachim of kisui. It just says make sure it's covered. Physically, it's covered, and that's all you need here. Whereas lulav, it tells you I need a shear of 4 tefachim. There is a shear, a physical shear, and you don't have a physical shear. Halachically, you don't have a shear. Hadron aloch kisui adam, hadron aloch kisui adam, hadron aloch kisui adam. Gid anosha. I'm going too quick. We got to slow down. Gid anosha is the sciatic nerve, right?
What do they call it over there? Coronial nerve?
I don't know. I don't have. What is it called?
It's on your sheet there.
It's not.
It says coronial nerve.
Oh no, that's this guy over here. That's the wrong one. You're looking at the wrong thing.
It comes off of the sciatic nerve.
Yeah, the sciatic nerve. This is a second one. According to Teimanim, it's this. According to Ashkenazim, it's this. The second one.
It's what?
The secondary Gid Anosha. This is the main guy right over here. That goes right down. This is the Gid Anosha. Not to confuse you with this. Oh, I was waiting for somebody to ask.
Why is there what?
Why is there a spoon?
Where's the spoon?
Why is there?
There's a spoon because this is called Kaf HaYorech. This is the spoon of the thigh, and it looks like a spoon. So I just threw it in there so that you could see where the spoon shape is. What was the joke?
I thought you were going to say Kiddushi Shalom.
You get it? You see the piece of meat that's similar in shape? So when somebody says Kaf HaYorech, that the Malach touched Kaf HaYorech, now you'll know. It'll be a picture in your mind. The spoon, Kaf HaYorech, remember that. from a year from now when we learn it. Also, the reason why there's a spoon here, I'll tell you the truth. I wasn't sure if I could put this online because I got rishus from Art Scroll. Oh, this is with permission from from Art Scroll. How do they call it? Something Heritage Foundation. Besar the Heritage Foundation. Now I have a shaila. If I'm a little embarrassed to call him up and ask him, could I also use it for the 8-minute video? So I figure if I throw a spoon in there, now it's kind of bishinui, and he can't have any tinus anymore. So that's it. Don't think it's easy to put a spoon on a picture like this. This background and it's a big mahalach, and to get it on an angle. The trick is, whoever wants to know, you search for spoon without a background or anything without a background. That's what happened. All right. Gida Anosha. So now that we know what a Gida Anosha is, we have plenty of time. Anybody else want to talk about? No, okay. Gida Anosha noiheg be'aretz u'b'chutz la'aretz. And again, we have the same question we had in the last 3, 4. No, we don't need Semis Agidin. We're not talking about Semis Agidin. We're talking about sciatic nerve.
Same area though? Isn't it all the
Yeah. But Semis Agidin is over here and it's white, it's sinews. No, we're actually, B'dafka not showing that. It's purposely, it's wide open, it's showing you a bone. It doesn't want to show you anything else but the green, so you don't get confused. The white sinews of Semis Agidin is something else. Also sinew, but something else. So the Geda Nosh is Noig Baretz B'chutz La'aretz. Right? So we always had the question, Tosis always asks, what's the Chiddush? It's a mitzvah that's not totally in a makom, it's in the person. B'fnei abayis, b'fnei abayis. Even when the Beis Hamikdash doesn't exist. B'chulin u'b'mukdashim. So this Isser, and the Gemara is going to ask right away, you have a Gida Nasha, you have this sciatic nerve that's in the animal, and then you make an animal hegdish. So what is the havamina that it goes away? How can you get rid of an isser? It's like saying chaylev is also asur if I magdish an animal to the Beis Hamikdash. Of course it's asur. It was asur before, and just because I make it hegdish, where did the aver go? Now there's no difference. It's not like oisu b'noy. This applies to even a chaya and even a behema. So according to the Tanna Kama, it is in both thighs.
Is it both sides?
Both sides. What?
This arteries in both thighs.
Yeah, it's physically in both sides. Even according to Rabbi Yehuda, that doesn't apply to the left one. It's physically there. You'll see the sciatic nerve. The reason why it doesn't have it, you don't have this in a chicken. He doesn't have a spoon. A chicken doesn't have a spoon. If you take out a full-term fetus, I can't say baby anymore. We got a aura. Well, I don't know. Can't say baby. So, what?
You don't have to listen to every hour.
But that was the only hour. I'm not joking. If you look, in the last 6 months, one hara from a guy in New York. Some guy wrote, do not write baby, because maybe somebody will say this blood libel till this very day. Some non-Jew will listen to it. Fine. So anyways, no, he's right. I don't like the word. I was thinking, there has to be a better word between fetus and baby. There has to be some other... It's not a born. Unborn.
Then you're making it clear.
What?
You say baby cow, then you know it's not a shayla.
Oh, and when my wife saw that, she came, she said, you see, I told you. Because she was the one that also said to me, she said, she overheard me, she goes, what, you're killing babies? What's going on here? They're eating babies, shechting. Yeah, okay, fine. So, Bekitzer, if you have a full-term fetus alive, so the Gida Nosha applies to him as well. Rabbi Yehuda Omer einu noig b'shlil. You don't. It doesn't apply to the no. If it's found in the animal, so it's a ben pekua according to Rabbi Yehuda, right? The whole famous machlokes to Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir says it's not a ben pekua because it's full term. Rabbi Yehuda says it is. V'chelboy, sorry, einu noig b'shlil v'chelboy mutar. Okay. The chaylev is allowed, and the butchers are not believed in Gida Nosha and they're not believed in chaylev. It's very hard to remove a Gida Nosha, as you probably know. It's a big mumchishkat. You have to know how to be menaker. It's called. You have to know what it looks like, where it is, pull it out exactly. That's why a lot of Ashkenazim are noig not to eat anything from that side of the animal at all, because Svardim have a Masorah how to take it out, how to do it. Maybe Ashkenazim also in certain places. I think here in Eretz Yisrael they are makbid not to eat it. That's why if you go to Lechem Basar, be careful what steak you ask, because they have it on the menu and you might not know, and you'll eat if it's called whatever it's called, a sad or whatever it's called. The Sinta is from the rear, and if you're Ashkenazi, it's not something you typically eat.
In England, by the way, the Sephardi Bezdin agreed to ban in order to
Okay. So a butcher is not believed. We don't trust a Jewish or frum guy saying, "Yeah, I took out the Gilanasha." Divrei Rebbe Meir, v'achachamim oimrim nemonim olav v'alachelev, and they stick in the word chelev here, as the Gemara is going to explain. Butcher is believed that he took out the Gilanasha. He is believed that he took out the chelev. Ask the Gemara, mugdashim pshita. Just because you brought a carbon to the Beis Hamikdash, where does the Isser of Gilanasha disappear to? Mishum da'agdishe pakala Isser Gilanasha gidminei v'chitema. So now the Gemara is going to bring the machlokes. Does the Gilanasha have a flavor or doesn't have flavor? What's the nafkamina? Nafkamina for kachim. The Gilanasha for sure is asur. It says in the Torah, Gilanasha is asur. It's asur. There's no questions whether it has a flavor or not. It doesn't make a difference to us. It's asur. That's the Siddur. But kachim has to have a flavor. You have to benefit from kachim in order for you to be over. So the question is, if Gilanasha yesh v'chitem yesh begidim benoisen tam, and if you say that sinew, the sciatic nerve has flavor, so what? So now, in addition to the Gilanasha, you're going to be over a second Isser called Kachim. On that bony sinew material, because it has flavor. No, you're eating Kachim. You're eating Kachim, you're not eating Kachim. V'asi Isser Mugdashim v'chayla Isser Gid. So now you have a concept called Isser Chalal Isser. One Isser goes on top of another Isser. So what came first now, according to the Gemara? The Gid. What came second? The kachim. And Isser Chal Isser, why? Because whatever reason you'll say. Because it's Isser Moiseh, or because it's the kachim is chamur, whatever the reason is. So you're over on 2 Yisurim, you'll get 2 times Malchus. So now...
It's also in regular ta'arot, mixture, no?
Yeah.
So it's not... if it falls into a pot and it doesn't have 60 or something like that.
You're going to get to what?
Not in time.
Okay, but you're even the Gilanasha anyways.
Yeah, but if
it has noise in time, so make the whole Chullin, Gilanasha Chullin. So
you took it out. Now
yeah, okay.
Now if it
but now you'll only be over 1 Isur of Gilanasha. I want to tell you a case where you're over on 2. You're 2 Isurim, Kachim and Gilanasha when you take 1 bite out of it.
Okay, so
you're telling me it's not a story that all you...
Yeah. If it's nice and time.
Yeah.
This is what we're looking for.
Basically, yeah. I see.
If it was the regular nafkamina.
Yeah, but the Mishnah is just going through things. It's you're over Chullin, you're over Kachim. It's not enough Gemina so much. It fits in with all the Mishnahs that we said before. Vezbenoi also had Kachim. Nothing to do with the nafkamina. It works in Kachim, it works over here. It works there. So these Mishnahs say the same exact thing. Chullin, Beis Hamikdash, Kachim. But the question is Kachim. The Gemara only jumped on Kachim. The Gemara could have asked the same question. Who cares about? Of course, it's Chal and Chutz La'aretz. Of course, the Gemara took one thing, Kachim. Why are you telling me Kachim? Mustami, you have some sort of chiddush here. Ovisu Chal Isser, Noisin Tam. You're right. It's not 100% the sugya for it, but it just flows with all the other Mishnayos. And we want to understand why. How does it apply here? So the Gemara just asked a very simple question. What came first, according to you, right now? Gilanasha was first. And then you apply to it. One day you decide I'm going to bring this animal as a carbon. So I added to the Isser of Gilanasha, I added the Isser Kachim. So then it doesn't fit into the words of the Mishnah. It should say, instead of Gilanasha is Chal on Mugdashim, it should be that reverse. Mugdashim is Chal on Gilanasha. Hi Mugdashim, no Gilanasha, begid mi bailei. So the Gemara reverses, Elaka Savar, ein begidim b'noisen tam. You're right. It doesn't give off any flavor. And Memela, what if it doesn't have a flavor? You're not over on kachim, because kachim you have to benefit from. Ube mukdashim isur gid ikya isur mukdashim leka. So the Mishnah is telling us another chiddush, the reverse chiddush. If I eat kachim gid anosha, I'm only chayav on one malchus, one isur, and not two. Why? Because I hold ein isur chalal isur. I hold ein begidim minois tam. Sorry, ein begidim minois tam. There's no isur b'chlal on kachim, and therefore, right, nothing to do. There's no isur b'chlal because in order to be over on mukdashim, I need hana, and there's no hana, and therefore I'm only over on one. Ask the Gemara, wait a minute, how does it fit in? How could our Tana hold that a sciatic nerve doesn't give off flavor? If you have a thigh, they have a gidanosha that's cooked in it, so the whole yorech, the whole thigh is also, like he was saying before. The tam is imparted to the rest of the thigh, and it's also. So it says mefurish.
Meat gives off flavor, some flavor.
What? Not if it's wood. No, it's wood.
Wood.
Yeah, the sciatic nerve is like wood. You ever ate a sciatic nerve? No. It's a white, disgusting thing. It doesn't have flavor. Maybe it does have flavor. That's the machlokes. Does it have flavor or not? It's not meat.
Is it a different flavour?
It doesn't have a flavor.
No, but if we say it has flavour, like in the Havamid here in the
Yeah.
is it a different flavour to the rest of the thigh?
Yeah. That's what benois tam. Remember we had that sugi a little bit over there in Zvachim. Does it have to give off? No, maybe it was Avedizar. Does it have to give off a different flavor, some flavor, salt, not salt? But l'chayra, yeah. If it doesn't have a different flavor, then it didn't give a flavor.
Why can't we ask someone who can eat it, like a non-Jew? Why don't we trust their opinion?
I'm sure it has some sort of flavor. Is it considered a flavor? Yeah, halachic, right, halachic flavor. It's a vein. Everybody's gonna say yes, it has a flavor. It's disgusting. It's not something you want to eat. But is that considered a flavor? So now the Gemara comes up with a new pshat. We're talking about the vlad of kachim, the fetus of kachim. What kind of kachim are we talking about? What kind of animal, behema, carbon has kachim, has a vlad? It can't be a oila, because the oila is zachar. It can't be a female chatos, which chatos are usually female, because you have to let them die. So what really could it be? Only shlamim. That's why Rashi says here, shlamim. Shlamim shiolda. Okay, so you have a shlamim that gave birth, because savar noig b'shlil, and he holds that the Gida Nasha applied beforehand. So now we have a situation where you have a carbon that gave birth to a baby, so the baby was
Fetus.
You have a fetus. You have a fetus that was kachim before it was born. And it had a Gida Nasha before it was born. So the two of them came together. You're asking me, your whole question was that it was first Gida Nasha and then it was kachim. No. The Gida Nasha and the kachim came together. How? You're talking about a fetus. It was conceived as a carbon. So when it was conceived, it was already kachim. And then it had a Gida Nasha. It came together. Okay? What are you thinking? I see something, the wheels are spinning. Oh, very good. I knew that I saw it coming out. I saw it. Nu, what's your question in the womb?
Is there an Isser Kachim and is there an Isser Gida Nasha when it's in the womb?
It is. No, there is in the womb.
Both Isser?
Yeah, it's kachim. It is kachim. What's the mother's heart? Is it kachim or chullin? It's kachim. I thought you were asking something else. I thought this question that it was created, it was conceived, and it was kachim before it had a Gida Nasha. The Gida Nasha came in a later stage. It had to develop later. Says the Gemara, "Bevladis kachim askinu v'kasavar noig b'shlil v'kasavar v'ladis kachim b'mei imam hen gdoshim." Okay, so here that answers your question. He holds that the vlad is kadosh in the mother's womb. The Isser Gid, the Isser Mugdoshim, B'adei Adadikas. So the two Isurim came together. As the Gemara Matzis Mukmas Labishlil, that is very hard to say that we're talking about a fetus. But Mediktani Seif and Noig B'Shlil, it says Mefurish in our Mishnah that it applies also to fetus, meaning that the first case is not a fetus. Says the Gemara, no, not such a good question. The first one is talking about a fetus. But in the ratio, I didn't tell you that's a machloikis. I tell it to you in the sefer, there's a machloikis, to tell you that even in the ratio, it's a machloikis. Okay. Some sort of way out of it. How are you telling me that the fetus was developed? The Gid Anosha was developed together with becoming kachim, but nan al elu tumois hanozim megaleach. If a person is a nazir, so you have minimum how many days? 30 days. On day 29, he touches a dead person. So now he has to restart his clock. Yeah? Hanozim megaleach al ameis val kezais min ameis. If a nazir on day 29 touches a dead mouse, a sheretz, he doesn't restart his clock. If he touches a mace, a whole mace, or a kezais in the mace, Migaleach, as the Gemara, al kulei lo kolchkein, al kezais min ameis, b'kashilon al kezais min ameis, Migaleach, al kulei lo kolchkein. Why the redundancy here? Just say kezais min ameis, and of course a whole dead body. It's going to tell us a special case where you have a full developed fetus that doesn't have all the sinews put together yet. In the very early stages of pregnancy, if the nazir touched that kind of fetus, then he has to restart his clock. Okay, but what do you see from this? You see that there's a situation where a fetus is developed without his Gid Anosha. Alma Isur Mugdoshim Kadim. Now, if you look at Tosfos asks a bomb question. He sticks it under his breath as if nothing happened there. Look at the top word, the first words of Tosfos. What is Tosfos asking here? An unbelievable question. Tosfos is asking.
It'll start until later.
Oh, well, that's the answer. What's Tosfos asking? Tosfos is asking that if the fetus doesn't form his Gid Anosha until later on, so then the Gid Anosha was never Kaddish until later on. You can't have a Kaddish Gid Anosha that doesn't exist. So when it formed, let's say it forms in the 3rd month of pregnancy, only then does it become Kaddish. So then it did come together with the Gid Anosha. The Kedusha and the Gid Anosha came simultaneously in the 3rd month. So why is the Gemara saying, no, first the fetus is formed, and then at a later time you have a Gid Anosha? It's not true. The Kedusha of the fetus forms on day 1 of the pregnancy. But the Kedusha of the Gid Anosha doesn't form until day 90 or whatever it is. Comes Rabbi Tam and says, no, on day 1, you had the whole form of the Gid Anosha, but it was in the form of meat. Later on, it forms that the Gid Anosha becomes white and hard. So the Kedusha was inside those cells from day 1. But the Gid Anosha, the hard part only comes until later. Says the Gemara, Afagav, the Isra Mugdashim Kadim, Osis Gid, Chayil Alayu. So now the Gemara says, wait a minute. You're right that the Isra of Hegdish comes first, but the Isra of Gid Anosha could still apply itself to it. Why? Unbelievable. People were chayev, were asur in Gid Anosha before Torah. When they were Mitzrayim, they were still asur in Gid Anosha. So it's such a strong aveira that it has the power to apply itself even to something that was there before it. Gedusha came before it. You're right. The Gemara says Kaddish. From the day that this animal was conceived, it was Kaddish. The fetus is Kaddish. Yet, typically, you can't apply another Isser to Isser. But since Gid Anosha is such a powerful Isser, that Klai Yisrael or Bnei Noach, we weren't Klai Yisrael yet, we were Bnei Noach, we were Mechuyev in the Isser of Gid Anosha from before the Torah. So such a powerful Isser that it applies itself to everything, even something that was before.
Before we had a problem saying Isser Chal Isser, we just had a problem in the Lashon of the Mishnah. Now the Gemara is suddenly dealing with the problem at Isser Chal Isser? And what's the Gemara coming to answer?
The Gemara is coming to answer that it didn't form. We try to answer they both came together through pregnancy.
Right.
Says the Gemara, it's not true. You see from Nazir that they can't come together during pregnancy. one comes at day 1 of pregnancy, one comes much later, in a later stage when it's formed. So Gemara, you're right. It does come at a later stage than it's formed, but because it's Isser Noach, B'nai Noach, it has the right to do it. So it is coming to answer the Isser Chal Isser.
Are you saying, therefore, that
Have a wonderful day.
the Gemara is saying that in generally?
According to this.